the Majeek. Yes, it's Majeek, and that is a song, The Moon, okay? In this conversation, we are going to be getting into what his life is. For we who don't know him into detail, let's get to know him into detail. He's been at this music business, okay? Production, singer, songwriter, and everything else. So let's get into conversation with the Majeek. Hi.
What's happening, everybody?
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
You're
Good
welcome to the Culture Daily morning show, to 3 Music, to Accra, and to Ghana.
Amazing. Hi,
Yeah.
Ghana. What's happening, people?
Yeah. Okay. So the Majeek is a Nigerian musician, singer, songwriter. So let's get into also knowing all about him from infancy. So the Majeek, I want you to take us into your childhood, right? Just in understanding what has brought you to your now.
I like how you call my name, the Majeek.
Majeek.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So, I've been making music for a minute, and, I started making music from church. I wasn't part of the choir, because
Always.
they wouldn't let me, be part of it.
Oh.
Long story. My elder brother
You want to share that story?
Yeah, my elder brother was a choir master. Yeah,
okay,
so
makes sense then.
I was a stubborn kid. He'd be like, nah, you can't,
Not today.
No, not today, So, but I literally watched him, do music, and my sisters, they were all choristers, and I grew up in a music household. Like, my mom can sing, My next single, I sampled my mom's vocal in the end of it, So
That'll be on the EP, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
That's
okay.
the outro,
Okay.
Featuring Camido and Shode.
Okay.
Amazing record. Yo, I can't wait. I can't wait to
We can't wait to
share it. And that's basically it. I grew up with music everywhere, and I started off producing for my friends. I basically learned how to produce for myself, but so I could produce my song, because it was, it's not easy getting a producer, someone that believes in you. Producers, they are working for their money, and you can't just say, oh, bro, produce for me, you get me, but...
Or even if you can't do that all the time.
You can't do that all the time, you get me, you gotta, And me being a kid, and me being a smart kid, I picked up the skill, like, pretty fast in the studio, and I started producing my songs, writing my songs, and here we are. I'm in 3 Music. I'm in Ghana. Don't know.
At what age was this when you started picking up and then also teaching yourself how to produce?
After secondary school, I was like 16 years old.
Okay.
So I started producing. I went into the studio for the first time, and I saw the software they were using. And I'm like, bro, I can do this. Like, I literally have it on my laptop. Teach me, And shout out East Coast, blessed memories. God bless your soul. He put me through and taught me how to do everything for free. One of the first people to ever believe in me.
How many years ago?
This was 20, if I'm not mistaken, this was 20, my bad, I'm terrible with dates.
It's fine.
This was 2018.
2018,
yeah.
All right. So since that time in 2018 as well, would you say that your family is now really proud of you, especially your big brother, who was church music blocking you, and stopping you from doing what you love to do, obviously, from that young age?
Yeah, he is, men will be men at the end of the day, but he is proud of me, and, he always calls and checks up on me, make sure I, make the right decisions and I'm on track. That's basically my dad, because I lost my dad at a young age, and that's my father, basically. No, it's bless his soul, but yeah, it is what it is.
Okay. Now, it being what it is as well, you mentioned that your sisters also sang in the choir, right? How have all of these people shaped what your music is today? Because thankfully, you'd have first-hand critics who can say to you that I don't think that what you're doing is good. I don't think the music is right. Or you've actually put out a really good song, or even before you put it out, right? How have they been supportive of you and also helped you groom or come up with the best of songs?
Funny thing. I don't really, share my music with my sisters. I don't share my music. I don't know why, because I'm the last in the family. You get me? I don't share my music with them. I don't know. I'm a person. Now, music is so precious to me that I share it with people that I make music with. So my team, like my friends and people that are like closest to me, are the people that listen and critique the music if needed. You get me?
Okay.
So,
all right.
But sorry to cut you. But they influenced me strongly because if you listen to my music, there's melodies and there's backups and all these, because I grew up listening to them sing. So I know
even have the choir effects.
I know all the parts.
Yeah.
I know everything. So I learned it from them. So shout out my sisters.
Okay, shouts to them.
Yeah.
Now it's good you went back to mentioning your friends, right, and then people you make music with. You started also by producing, you've written songs, and then you broke out into making your own songs. What was the need for you, regardless of how much you loved music, what was the need for you to start that way and then now break out? What was that decision for you as well?
Like I said, I always wanted to make music, but producing was hectic. So it was hectic, and I started producing. And some of my friends, like artists, when you're a producer, when you start producing, you're around musicians, you're around artists, and they liked the songs, they liked the beats that I was making at the time, and I started, giving out beats, but I felt like something was missing because they weren't giving me what I wanted to hear on the beat. I'm like, man,
you have to
I have
do
to do
this
myself. You feel me? Like I really have to do this myself and really show you guys what I'm explaining in the studio.
Okay.
And that's why.
Do they understand it now?
They will definitely. Well, my people love me. Like people that love my music love me. So they get it.
Okay. You identify as an Afrofusion artist, right? Afrofusionist. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the first time I'm hearing Afrofusionist, but okay. Yeah. You identify as an Afrofusionist, right? Course, using your own words. Over the couple of years that you've put out the music, what would you say is that body of work that has stood out to you absolutely?
Mine or someone else's?
Either.
And that would be African Giant by Burna Boy. Amazing body of work. Amazing. There's so much. Like I still go back. Shout out KLP. That's my brother from Nigeria. I still go back to listen to the project and really just understand the message, the intentionality, and the sonics and everything. Shout out Burna Boy, man.
Okay.
Amazing body of work.
Shouts to him. Now, because you mentioned that as well, I would want to ask what your music influences are, because in that you're still in it, you're active in it, right? It doesn't mean you shouldn't fall back on people or look up to certain people. So who would these people be?
Okay, I'm more like an old soul.
Okay.
I'm a two-faced person. I love Two-Face. I feel like Two-Face is the father of what Afrobeat music is today. Shout out Fela. Everybody give credit to Fela for Afrobeat. But Two-Face was that guy, that made singing with pidgin English sound so beautiful.
Right.
Two-Face. Shout out Two-Face. I still listen to his music till this day.
Have you met him yet?
I haven't, but I plan to. I plan to.
Let's see what the universe.
I want to make music with him.
Let's see what the universe.
Make it happen. That would be a dream come true.
Let's see, and then I'm sure for Burna Boy as well.
Oh, definitely. African Giant, amazing. Like the artistry, the lyric, the pen game, crazy, and everything. Definitely. Then there's Wiz. There's Wiz. There's Pato Rankin. Shout out Pato Rankin. That's my big brother from Nigeria, with family, but yeah.
Because you mentioned pen game, I'd just like to ask, in your songs, it's more of a storytelling that you have in there, right? Yeah. Are these real life stories? If not, what is your motivation? What gingers you, what kicks you up to put out these songs, or even to pen them down? Or do you even pen them down in the first place? Right. I'm
more of a very deep person. Well,
you said you are an old soul. So.
Yeah. So I'm a reserved person, and music, I don't really talk too much. Like people that know me, I don't really be talking. If you know me, we kind of have solid conversations. I like solid conversations. I don't like I don't like
fickle
I don't miss me with that. And for me, since I don't get to express myself too much, music is that, avenue for me. So, which leads me back to your question. Music is my voice. So most of the stories that I tell in my records are real life. And I'm going to talk about a few tracks that are coming up on my EP. Turn Up, amazing record. That should be the first track. Amazing record. Story, real life. And let me just talk about my forthcoming project.
Yeah, so I was just going to ask you that right after this question that I wanted to ask you, right? You mentioned that you're an old soul. You like deep conversations, right? And also putting out the type of songs you put out. Do you think that people understand, where you're coming from? People understand what your music is and what your brand is about and who the Majeek is.
Okay, so there's two sides to the Majeek.
Okay.
There's me trying to have fun. There's records where I'm basically having fun. There's Cocoa Butter. There's Soba. These records are doing amazing. They're out now. So yeah, I'm expressing my fantasies and all that stuff. But then there are records where I really, really go in and talk about, real stuff. And I really want people, because most of the time people will listen to the quote unquote commercial records alone, and then they're not, they won't really pay attention to the, the real, like when you release a project now, you put out a body of work. Most of the time, for most artists, the commercial songs are like the songs that are really cheesy and happy and make people dance.
Those are the ones that will get videos done faster.
But I would want people to pay attention to the project when it comes out, like the other songs that are really, really, that can really teach you something. If you're an artist and you're an underground artist, like you could really listen and learn from my story. So you just know what to expect in your journey.
Okay. Now, because you mentioned the project, I just want us to get into it. It's an EP coming this year, right?
Yeah, of course.
So you've already...
Second quarter, yeah.
Second quarter, okay. So you've already put together, the songs. You've done your selections already. Because you mentioned that...
Third quarter.
Third quarter, okay. So that'll be later on in the year. You mentioned that you're going to have Camido on one of the songs.
Amazing.
But beyond that as well, how many songs are going to be on the EP? What's the EP title, and what should we expect?
Okay, the EP's titled The Magician. I got a couple artists on there.
Oh, I like that. Is it spelled like
Magician,
Majeek with just C-I-A-N?
Okay, THEMAJEEKCIAN.
Okay, it's what I meant. Yeah, okay.
Volume 1.
Okay.
So there's going to be more and more coming.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have Camido on there. I have Shode. I have, shout out Shode, shout out Camido. We shot the video for the record yesterday. Okay. Amazing. These Is
that part of why you're in Ghana?
Yeah, one of the reasons why I'm here. And also to connect with the people and to meet you as well.
I see. Interesting. Okay.
So yeah, shout out Shode, shout out Camido. First time meeting them. Amazing. Shode flew all the way from Nigeria to come make the video in Ghana with me. Beautiful, beautiful. Ghana is amazing. So they gave me 110. These people, amazing verses. I heard the verses, amazing. Also, shout out Kojo Black. That's my family, my brother.
Do you have a song with him as well?
Oh, amazing. Coming. It's coming. Okay. Amazing record. Kojo is an amazing artist, and Lazy Ella from Nigeria. That's my sister.
Okay.
Amazing. And yeah,
you have a bunch of amazing people on amazing records, on an amazing EP. But you did mention that it was your first time meeting Camido and Shode.
Yeah.
How did you guys connect then, especially
amazing. Camido, man, bro.
How did you connect with Camido?
Shout out my team, Crocs Global.
Okay.
Amazing.
All right. Cool. I understand what the connection is.
So yeah, first time meeting my brother. Gave me 110. Amazing. I'm grateful.
I'm going to charge you 10 CDs for every time you say amazing. If you say amazing again. But anyway, I understand the extent to which you are anticipating all of the songs hyped, and the bodies of work as well on your upcoming EP, right? Yeah. Okay, The Magician. The Magician. We're going to look forward to that, right? Yeah. But in the year 2025, what are you looking forward to as well? Beyond the release of your EP, what are you and Crocs Global up to?
Amazing things. There's so much on the way. Me personally.
You said amazing, but continue. Mm-hmm.
Damn. Just put it on my card. Great things are coming. Actually, great things are coming. Personally, I want to, win more souls and grow as an artist and touch more grounds and, spread love and spread, this is my message, yeah. And I'll be saying this a lot. Mm-hmm. It's sounding like, a revival thinking, but I want people to, when you listen to my project, what I want you to take away from it is be yourself, be authentic, be you. Okay. Never let nobody dim your light, to make them feel, never dim your light to make anybody feel comfortable. Okay. If they don't, if they don't mess with you, if they don't feel you, it's on them, it's not on you. I say this everywhere I go, and I really want people to know,
Okay. Yeah. So the message from the Majeek EP, be yourself, be you. Don't dim your lights for anybody.
Never.
Okay.
Never.
Okay. Be authentic as well.
Very,
really important.
very.
All right, the Majeek. Thank you very much for coming, and I'm sure that with your partnership with Crux Global, we are going to see you a lot more in Ghana. So we're looking forward to the release of your EP as well.
Thank you so much.
How many songs have you got on it in total?
It's 8 songs.
8 songs in total. Okay. We are counting down the days and waiting on that as well. For people who would want to, connect with you on your socials, how can they do that?
The name is The Majeek everywhere. THEMAJEEK. Dano, original Badman there. He's out.
Original Badman what?
There.
Okay. All right. Continue to make magic, Majeek, and thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I beg your pardon. Thanks for coming, and would have you more right here on Theme Music, because we love to support, and that is what we do.
Thank you so much.
It's been a conversation with the Majeek. He is a Nigerian artist, and he has said that he has some collaborations with some of our Ghanaian brothers, Kamido and also Koji Black. The EP is going to come later on in the year, so we are going to be counting and waiting on that release. This has been Unpacking. The show is Culture Daily. My name is Lenny Lumuti, and do stay tuned to the rest of the show. We have Sports Direct, Trending Live, and then The Big Conversation. Jay already teased who is going to be on there. If you still haven't guessed yet, then you have to wait to see who we have on The Big Conversation. Enjoy.